All right, here we are. We are at the edge of Lake Kawaguchi. We're going to go over the bridge. Now, unfortunately, as you can see, it's foggy, so we're probably not going to get a glimpse of Fuji this morning, unfortunately. Anyways, let's take a look. Here is Lake Kawaguchi. You can see some boats here. So out of the 5 lakes of Mount Fuji, Lake Kawaguchi is the most famous, the most visited, the most touristy, the most well-known. This bridge is probably the easiest way across. So this side of the lake is the most built up and most touristy. It's also the side closest to Tokyo, so coincidence, I think not. Oh, look at that. Huh. The water's low enough you can get out to that island. So that spit of land right there, that's usually an island. Right now it's not. So that means the water's actually, yeah, you can see the water's actually pretty low. So you could actually just walk out to that island right now. I wonder how that's going to affect the fishing. So I'm actually going to be fishing in the lake tomorrow. The boat I'm going on is going to be over on that side. Well, it's the same guiding company. I assume they're using the same boat. It's in the same spot. Oh, that's interesting. So you can actually just walk out to the shrine right now. Huh. Interesting. So here we go. Lake Kawaguchi, the most famous of the 5 Fuji lakes. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get to see Mount Fuji, which is too bad. So last year, when me and my wife came here to Lake Kawaguchi, you could get really, really nice views of Mount Fuji. If you actually watch back later, the thumbnail that's on this video, that's a picture I took last year, about over there. We might walk pretty close to there today. We're going to go over the bridge. We're going to walk along the shore, take a look. There's the lake. There's some boats. There's the very, very base of Fuji, but you can't see very much. This kind of central part of the town where most of the stuff is, hotels and such. The hotel we're staying at is up there. It's a nice ryokan, has a nice onsen. It's pretty cheap. I like it. My wife, she's not as impressed with it. But you know, that's how life is. So you can see some boats over there. I'll show you once we get a little closer. You can get a better look at the boats. So those are actually the boats that are used for wakasagi fishing. So wakasagi are a type of smelt. They're pretty small, and you fish them on those boats. So they're like ice shanty boats, I guess the best way to describe them. They have what'd you call it? They basically have seats, holes in the floor. You drop your line down into the water, like you're ice fishing. You're basically using an ice fishing rod. It's kind of fun. So I'm going to do that from 7. Well, it starts at 7:30, but you got to be there at 7 to 3. All right, let's take another view of the lake since we're on the bridge. It's a little foggy today, unfortunately. I was hoping for a nice clear day. That split of land right there, that's usually an island, so the water's really low. Come around, here's the bridge. There's the base of Mount Fuji, as you can't see much. Hi, Snow. How are you doing today, Snow? Of course, chat's open. Talk if you want in there. So we're going to just continue across the bridge here, and then we're going to get on the other side and walk along a trail system along Lake Kawaguchi. So that trail system's kind of nice if it's a clear day because you're looking across the lake at Fuji, but as you can tell from the cloud cover, it's not a nice clear day. Oh well, the lake's still beautiful. Some boats down there. Wrap the safety pin around my fingers while we put the camera over the bridge in case something happens. Two-hand the stick. All right, so here we go. So those boats down there are used for wakizashi fishing. You can kind of see someone's on them getting ready already. So these boats are covered, protect you from the elements, rain, snow, sun. Wakizashi are usually fished in the winter though, and they're generally, the worse the weather it is. So if the water's cool, it's not bright, they're going to be feeding more. So tomorrow's supposed to rain, and I'm supposed to go out fishing for them. So I'm actually excited. Hopefully it's a really good day. I catch a lot of them. Basically, these boats, they're kind of similar to ice fishing shanties that you see in North America. So it's covered, they're warm, there's actually a hole in the floor. You're using what's basically an ice fishing rod and dropping that down through the hole, lots of seats, and fish for wakizashi. Usually use mealworms as bait. But yeah, they usually have a heater. Some of them have kitchens on board. Usually have a kettle so you can get your hot water and tea. They're actually a pretty fun experience if you've never done it before. They run short excursions, like hour and a half for people that just want to try it. 3 hours are kind of their normal sessions, and then I'm doing what they call a full day, which would be 7:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Take a look at the lake. Lake's nice and calm right now. That's the nice thing about mornings. This is about hour and 45-minute bus ride from Tokyo up here. If you drive, you can do it a little faster. Lots of boats. That's kind of the most touristy and developed side. Tokyo's that way. We're going to go to the less developed side of the lake. And also, as you go that way, it gets a little less developed. If you go over those ridges there, you get to Aokigahara, that famous forest that's, you know, what it's famous for. Something I probably technically shouldn't say on YouTube, you know. Although I have a video about it and it does really well. I'm just openly talk about it. There you can see the crews pulling up to the boats. Gonna get set up, get ready to run. It's been pretty busy. So last time we went here, you know, Japan wasn't totally closed, but it wasn't totally open type of situation. So most of the people you ran into, they were here on work visas or business visas or residents. So it actually wasn't very crowded. And now it's like, oh, there's people everywhere. There's a ton of people. So for example, the hotel we stayed at last year when we went, it was, you know, there were us and one other family. So instead of being a men's onsen and a women's onsen, the owner actually just put the family names on the onsen. I was like, all right, this family goes in here, this family goes in here. It was actually kind of fun for that reason. Yeah. But now, you know, it's back to the normal. This is the men's onsen. This is the women's onsen. Can't blame them. All right. Give us a nice little view of the lake. Fishing boats. There's more. Oh, why don't we curve around and go up to that little shrine? I don't know how the reception is here because, you know, cell phones reception in the mountains of Japan can be a little dodgy, but hopefully the picture's coming through clear for you guys. Let's take this up. So there's the bridge we just crossed. The other side has the majority of the development, hotels, onsens for Lake Kawaguchi. There are the wakizashi fishing boats for fishing for wakizashi. That right there, you can't really see it that well. That's normally an island, but the water's so low, it's no longer an island. You can walk out to it, it looks like. And here we go. We're gonna get on this main trail and take a little walk-see. Last year I wasn't doing YouTube as much, so there weren't a bunch of people here in the early morning. So it's kind of interesting. It's like, oh, all right, tourism's recovered. Can't see any Fuji, too cloudy. Hopefully the ceiling raises during the live stream and we'll be able to see a little bit more. All right, let's get down to this trail here. We're gonna go along the lake a little ways and then we're gonna climb up a very, very small hill to a shrine. We're gonna do that first. So this section here, you can see, is still kind of built up, not as developed. Some of these places are like quite exclusive hotels, actually. Oh, but you know, a bicycle. So some of these here along, particularly this section here and up there, those are some pretty nice hotels. These are your pretty expensive ones. I don't make money off of YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe, and that could help me make money off of YouTube. Actually, just even watching helps. Anyways, there's a lot of really nice hotels there and in that section there. So you can see there's parts where the mountains come down and form ridges. The lake actually continues around that bend for quite a ways, which is kind of fun. Boats. I think this section is open to fishing. So in here, we'll see a sign about it. There's Wakasagi, which is what I'm going to be fishing for. And there are both two species of black bass. There's largemouth and smallmouth. I wouldn't be able to tell you the difference between them. I try to avoid getting people in my shots as much as possible, personally. So there's largemouth and smallmouth, and they're all black bass to me, to be totally honest. But if we continue along here, we'll actually get close to the boats and the launch. I think a lot of people, when they're staying here, they get up early hoping to see like Fuji and a sunrise, and unfortunately that's not happening today with the cloud cover. We got a really low ceiling, but it does make for a pretty view. One second, I'm just gonna go through this part of the park. Lots of people getting ready for fishing. So let's just get up here a little bit and then we'll get another good view. This part's not the best view, but that's life. All right, you can kind of see it now. So here is the parking lot. There is the Wakasagi fishing boats. People are getting ready to go onto the boats in the parking lot. The water is quite low, but that's okay. That happens. Don't love it. Yeah, you can already see people lined up to get on the boats. That's gonna be me tomorrow, but somewhere else. Actually, these guys start earlier. My place doesn't start until 7. It's getting close to 7, actually. All right, so we're gonna take, So one of the things in Japan is a lot of cities and places will have like these really artistic manhole covers. Here's one of them. You can see the bridge that I crossed earlier in the stream. You can see Fuji. It's a nice clear day, which unfortunately it's not today. So let's head up to the shrine, and from there we're actually gonna have a pretty nice view. Climb at your own risk. That's a pretty common mantra in Japan. Yeah, just don't kill yourself. The shrine's made out of volcanic rock, actually. Oh, you can just see a little bit of Fuji peeking through. So, right there is Mount Fuji. There's a little break in the clouds, that kind of light spot. You can see the slope of Fuji. So there she is. Hopefully those clouds keep dissipating as the day goes on, so we get a nice looking view. I don't live up here. I live down in the Kanto Valley. Sorry, the Kanto Plain, not the Kanto Valley. Just gonna say hi to the gods real quick. Gods has been said hi to. Oh, now it's been covered again. So we just had a briefest glimpse of Fuji there. So Mount Fuji is about right. Yeah. So I don't live in this section of Japan. I live down in the Kanto Plain in Tochigi. This is my second time coming up here. But one of the things in the Kanto Plain is that generally in winter you have clearer, better views of things. I'm not sure if that's true up here. All right, we're gonna go back down. We should have a nice view. So anyways, we're gonna go back down, take a little more of a walk. We're gonna go along the shore towards, well, away from the city, basically. I mean, it's a lake, so if you follow the trail long enough, you just make a circle. I hope these people have a good day fishing. Well, you know what they say. A good day fishing beats a bad day at work. No, wait. Sorry. A bad day fishing beats a good day at work. Wait, those are both true. I feel like this has always been like one of the biggest guide services. Like the place I'm going fishing with is, you know, I think they have one boat. These guys have 3. There does seem to be less boats on the water, though. When I was looking to book a guide day out on the boat before we came here, I was noticing like, there's a lot of places whose like website, social media, or even their spot on Google Maps is gone. So I think that the fishing industry, as far as like guiding and stuff here, I think it's been tough on them. I think there was COVID, and that really hurt. But, you know, there was still domestic tourism during COVID, and I think that the majority of people that get on these boats and do this, they're, you know, either Japanese or residents, you know, people who live here like myself. I don't think it's as big with tourism. Now, some of it is they don't actively pursue tourists as much. So you'll see this sometimes with, like, particularly in the larger cities. When you look at a place, you can kind of sometimes tell if they're targeting domestic versus international tourism. And none of these guides here on the lake, they really don't target international tourism, which is fine. I don't blame them. It probably has a hard sell to tell someone like, hey, visit another country, you know, come out to this lake that's about 2-hour drive from, you know, where you're probably going to be staying and focusing, Tokyo, and come out on a boat and fish for some, you know, basically a species of smelt that you've never heard of, a wakizaki. It looks like a duck smelt, if you're familiar with North American fish. So I think that's a hard sell, first off. I think nobody's tried to sell it, second off. And so I think that because of the economy of Japan, you know, there is, you know, quite a bit of inflation. It's tough on people who live here, for as far as salaries and stuff. So people are probably going to travel domestically less. And they're going to do activities like, oh, let's go to Lake Kawaguchi. Oh yeah, let's spend a few hours on a Wakasagi boat fishing. I think that's becoming a harder proposition to sell due to price, due to the economy, and so you still have lots of international tourism. In fact, there's lots of international tourism here to Lake Kawaguchi, but you know, those are being sold on things like, oh, you're gonna go hiking. Oh, that's great. I love hiking too. Maybe you're gonna rent a bicycle and bicycle around the lake. Oh, that's also fun. Maybe you're gonna go to the next lake over and go hike in Aokigahara. Okay, that's fun. I've done that. But I think that for a lot of the fishing guides, it's a harder sell now, basically, which is harsh, but it's also the reality of the situation, I guess. Like, you know, if I lived here, I'd be tempted to get my fishing guide license and be like, basically pull something where I'm like, okay, I'll pretty much just target English-speaking foreigners. All right, let's continue around the lake. Still can't see much thanks to the fog. Oh, eagle. Hawk, not eagle. Hawk. Where do those guys go? Whee! Huh? Oh, there's a light here. I forgot. This guy's graceful. I hope the connection is good and that the visual is actually halfway decent. We're going to continue along until we get to that park there. It is interesting looking with all the cloud cover. Not what I was hoping for. I was hoping for nice and clear. But you can't always get what you want. Or something like that. Ducks. Quack, quack. So when it gets warmer, this lake, you know, they have a decent bass population. You're allowed to catch and release one of the species. So there's black, for the black bass here, there's largemouth and smallmouth. One of them they're allowed to be in here, and one of them they're not supposed to be in here. So if you catch, I think smallmouth are supposed to be in here. If you catch smallmouth, you can catch and release them. If you catch largemouth, you have to return them, or it might be the other way around. They used to have boards up here. I think they're more active about having the boards up here when it's more people fishing. Oh, there's one person fishing. Looks like he's after bass. There might be trout in here too. Some of each of basically the 5 Fuji lakes have a few different fish. Pretty much all of them have wakasagi though. Quite a few of them have funa, so carp. Some of them trout. This one has bass. I think this is the only one with bass. But this time of year, the big thing is wakasagi fishing. Let's continue. We'll just go this way for the middle. We're not going to go a very long ways. There's a lake. There's a marina. Get some ducks. I think it's one of those. I don't know if you're technically. Yeah. Lots of people pop up onto those docks and take pictures. Not sure if you're supposed to. When it's nice and clear and you can see Mount Fuji. which is currently covered by that hill there. So we're going to have to continue around, and then we'll get a glimpse. We'll see if we can see Mount Fuji, or see if the cloud cover is making it impossible to see Fuji. The water is quite low today. Oh, Kasa. Alright. Very nice. These big roads. So this is 137. But if you take 21 off of it, that brings you to Lake Seiko, which is another one of the 5 Fuji lakes. Now, that lake, a lot of people go to and hike because it's next to Aokigahara, and so if you want to go hike Aokigahara, that's the place to go. There's also a museum talking about trout there. So Lake Seiko, they ended up introducing a species of trout, or they tried to, and they thought they failed, and then that species of trout actually went extinct in its native waters. But then they found that actually a small population had taken, and so they have a small endangered trout at that lake. They have a museum about it and examples and stuff. So if you fish there, you're not supposed to target trout at all. I'm sure people have accidentally caught them, but that's more of a it happens situation. Here we go. We got a view of Lake Kawaguchi. You can see the mountains are pretty foggy today, so I don't think we're going to see Fuji, unfortunately. That's what I was really hoping to show you guys. Like, oh look, here's the lake, here's Fuji, cry, cry, sniff, sniff. It's beautiful, man. He probably knows the owner, I assume. Whatever, not my problem. There's the lake. We continue around. And I don't think we're going to see Fuji at all. It is quite foggy up there. Low ceiling. Yeah, we're not going to see Fuji. That's unfortunate. It looked like the clouds were going to pull up and we're going to see more. Tomorrow's supposed to rain, so we might not actually see Fuji at all during this trip. Last year when we came here, it was pretty clear except for one day. And of course, that was the day we were out hiking in Aokigahara. So I made a video about it. I think it's called The Forest, known for family hike in Aokigahara, I think it's called. So we were hiking, and that was the only nasty day where you couldn't see anything. Right now, see across the lake. Well, that's pretty. All of the 5 lakes are pretty, from what I understand. I've only been to 2 of them. We're going to a 3rd one today, so that'll be a new one for us. Nice view, get the lake, get some of the smaller mountains. So back there, just barely, you can see the bridge that I started this live stream on. That's the bridge I crossed first. We continue along, get out of this kind of swampy stuff. See where Fuji's supposed to be, even though we're not going to see it today, to be honest. It's too... the fog's burning off faster on this side than that side. Let's stop at the bridge. Get some ducks. Got plenty of ducks here, actually. Oh, thank you, Grant. Just doing a morning walk near the lake. I'm not going to go around it too large, but we're going later in the morning to another lake. So lots of lakes. It is unfortunately kind of cloudy and foggy, so we can't see that far today. Although the fog's starting to burn off here. Oh, thank you, Grant. I'm glad you popped in during halftime. How's the game going? So basically, they have a trail that runs around most of the lake. It kind of sort of joins the roads at a few points, particularly in the thinner parts, like over there, where there's not as much distance between the mountains and the lake. 37-39, nice. Close, not a blowout. So along the side of the lake, particularly kind of up in that bend over there, the real estate and stuff around here commands, especially over there, commands extreme prices. Because once you get over to that bend, you can look across the lake, and if it was clear, we could see Fuji over there. It's not clear. We can't see Fuji, unfortunately. There's a pretty famous cafe around here too. My wife was, when we were planning this trip, she was like, oh, I really want to go to that cafe. And then she looked at how far a walk it is from the bus stop, which is over there. And she's like, no, never mind. You're like, I don't want to take a bus and then walk to get there. So we're going to a different cafe at a different lake where we will take a bus and then walk there. But for her, the selling point is we've never been to that lake before. And they're both supposed to have this like really nice view of Fuji when it's clear. It's also interesting about how, like, you know, this is a very touristy place. Lots of people make their living from tourism here. There's also a sizable number of people who, you know, they lived here and they had jobs here and they did stuff here for work before it became a huge tourism place in Japan. All right, so this bridge, if it's a clear day, you see tons of people taking their photos on this bridge here. You know, they got the wooden railing background. They probably have their friends standing just about here. Yeah, here. So they get the wooden rail background, and then Fuji would be there. We'll keep going for another 10 minutes and I'll turn around. We're taking the 9 a.m. bus, so I don't have a rush, but I still, you know, get home, get changed. So a pretty popular trail here, just in the mornings, actually any time of day. There's the lake. Over there, that's the bridge I started the live stream on. Fuji is there, but it's covered by clouds, unfortunately. So kind of nice. Oh yeah, this cafe. So this cafe is like super famous. You see it a lot on like TikTok. I don't use TikTok. So my wife uses TikTok. I don't use TikTok. And so she will see a lot of things on TikTok that I just don't see because, I mean, I'm mostly on YouTube. And I'm a lot on Instagram. Those are like the two social media I use. And it's interesting how there will be things that you'll see again and again and again on TikTok that I'm like, well, I've never seen this on Instagram. It's maybe who I follow because honestly, what I see a lot on Instagram is people fishing, people hunting, hiking. I don't see as many cafes and that type of touristy stuff, which my wife, I think, because, you know, she loves cafes. She sees those a lot. Oh, yeah, famous photography spot right there. Taking a shot across the lake, and guess what? It's a photograph that doesn't involve Fuji, so it doesn't matter that we can't see Fuji today. Good for them. This place rents boats. Pretty cheap, actually. I do not have my motorboat license in Japan, and they don't accept your US one, of course. So it's one of those things where I'm like, you know, there's a few times I've been like, oh, it'd be cool to rent a motorboat, and I'm like, nah, not cool enough that I'm actually going to go to class and pass the exam. I'm more likely to do that with a car first because I don't know how to drive. I mean, like, theoretically, I know how to drive. But, like, I don't have a driver's license. I haven't driven in years. Yeah, that's all I really got to say about it. Like, I'd probably go and try to get a driver's license before I did that. Oh, that actually is a cool shot right there, too. Fortunately, the weather's not cooperating. So I guess just have to explain some geography here. So all along here is Kawaguchi. So it actually, it looks like it ends over there, but it actually kind of snakes a little further. It starts to get thin past that island right there. So then here is the wide section here of Kawaguchi. And here, you come along. So they're taking a shot of the water and the hills over there. Not hills, they're mountains, but compared to some of the stuff we can't see thanks to the fog, they are hills. And we come along here, and then there is actually the thin part of the lake. There's a bridge right there. I walked over the bridge to get here. This is kind of a calm inlet area. Mount Fuji is right there. We can't see it thanks to the fog. So if you go past the bridge, you come into kind of a slightly wider area. It bubbles back out. That's where, oh, sorry, get out of the way. Oh, there's a map right here. Way easier. Okay. I'll explain using the map. All right. So here's Lake Kawaguchi. Nice. So that island there actually has a shrine on it. And after that, the lake actually gets thin. It kind of almost looks like it ends, but it doesn't. So it goes through a thin spot, and then out here. Now this area is less touristy. There are some resorts and stuff over there, but it's not touristy in the same way. All right, so if we look over here, well, there's Fuji. I'm not going to see Fuji today. There is a little shrine over there that is right there. The big thing though is the bridge. The bridge is actually, this is where I started the live stream. Come down here, over here, down around, now we're here. This is actually where most of the city's built up, the touristy area near Kawaguchi Station. Kawaguchi Station is both train and bus. There is a skyline up to a viewpoint, but its big thing is oh, you can see all the lake and Fuji. You're not going to see that far today, unless the fog starts to burn up. All right, lots of photographers, big spot for them. We'll maybe go 5 minutes further and then we'll turn around. It is, yeah, so the lake has, as far as fish, the big thing here is, and you can probably just see these little white boats. So those are wakasagi fishing. So wakasagi is a type of smelt. It's comparable to the North American Delta smelt. In fact, at one point, there we go. All right. Very good. We are back. We are at the shore of Lake Kawaguchi. We are on the okay, sorry. All right, we are back at Lake Kawaguchi. We are on the less touristy side of the lake, actually. Normally, well, not normally, if there was less fog, you'd be able to see Mount Fuji there. There's the bridge. Here's the lake. There's a lot of photographers. This is a popular photography spot. There's a lot of those. Good. So let's continue. We're going to kind of go back the way I came earlier in the stream. Get back to the bridge, go across the bridge. I'll probably end the stream on the big bridge. So let's go. It has warmed up a lot. I woke up at 5:30 local time. I started the stream at 6:15, so it must be almost 7 local time now. So here we go. We're gonna walk along the lake. Unfortunately, I didn't get to show everybody Fuji, which I was hoping I would. Kind of make for a fun live stream if we could see Fuji. All right, there we are. There's Lake Kawaguchi. We're just gonna walk along the lake here for a ways, and then we're gonna get onto path by the roads. There is kind of a path that goes all around the lake. At points, this path does join paved road, become basically a sidewalk. It is, I don't know how long it is to go all the way around the lake. It'd be quite a fun day of it. So this is one of the bigger of the 5 Fuji lakes. This over here, they're not open, so I'm gonna sneak in. So this here is actually a really famous cafe on like TikTok, Instagram. Well, actually, my wife sees it on Instagram. I don't see it on Instagram. But particularly on TikTok, lots of people take TikToks of them going to this cafe. They have a nice clear day and they can see Fuji and the lake. So it's a little social media famous. Yeah, right there you probably have a nice view. They have like gardens inside and such. I guess it's quite nice, particularly like summer, spring, maybe early fall. Probably not as interesting in winter. It's like it's an event. And it seems very well curated for social media, I guess would be the word for it. Oh yeah, fog hasn't changed much. Still there. Oh yeah. Here we go. There's a bridge. Can't see Fuji, unfortunately. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I wonder if we're actually going to see Fuji at all during this trip. Oh, there's still some snow up in those hills. I think that's the exit. I think the entrance to the cafe is actually down there. It's got kind of this European style architecture, outside seating, stuff like that. My wife was showing me it on TikTok and she's like, oh, let's go to this cafe. It's near our hotel. Well, no. Our hotel is way down there. So you could take a bus that would drop you off there. But my wife was like, oh, a bus. And then you could grab a second bus, which would bring you, I guess, over here, maybe? Somewhere in here? I don't know this side of the lake as well. Well, particularly Inyards. I only know, like, from walking along the edge here. So my wife was like, nah, let's not do that. So then she found a different cafe at another lake, and we're going there today. There we go. The bridge will probably be crowded. we are. There's the bridge over there. I'm pretty much back to where, well, the bridge would be where I started the live stream. I don't know how crowded the bridge is going to be. I don't really like live streaming with people in it for various reasons. Some of them are the way the law works here. Not many people actually get in trouble for it. It's actually a really nice view of the lake. Like, you can't complain about it. Well, I guess you could, but why would you? Yeah, fishing's already started. So most people are going to be out on the boats by now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to continue along this walking trail along Lake Kawaguchi and get to the bridge. So I live on the other side of the bridge. Well, I don't live there. I'm staying there. It's funny how quickly you think of your hotel as the place you live. Or at least I do. Oh, it's starting to clear up. Maybe we're going to get lucky. We might just get lucky. I wouldn't be so annoyed if, like, I get to the bridge and I turn off the stream and then suddenly, like, all the cloud cover removes and we get this brilliant view. It's like, oh, I just ended the live stream. Oh, no. All right, here we go. This is kind of the marina. There's lots of boats parked here. Most of them are touristy. There's some people, I think they're just straight up fishing boats. This is by the information center. I actually think the information center is where you can buy your fishing license here. So we're just going to continue to follow this trail. Here's the information tourism center. It's kind of interesting that it's on this side of the lake and not the other one. Well, I think it's probably like a lot of things in Japan where it wasn't maybe what they originally intended. They thought that, the tourism was going to be much more contained. I've also seen a few places where the tourism starts in like one part of an area, but then, either due to space or access or some other reason, it moves to another. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe originally this side of the lake had most of the hotels and onsens and tourism. But as it grew, well, the issue is that the train station's on the other side of the lake. And so is the bus station. Well, train stations are harder to move than bus stations, but still, it might have been one of those things that over time, more and more hotels and more tourists wanted to stay closer to the train station, bus station, the other side of the lake. The other side of the lake is closer to Tokyo. This side is far from Tokyo. So if you were staying over here on this side and you got off on the train, well, then you'd have to take a local bus or walk. Probably want to take a local bus unless you really like walking over to this side. Kind of makes it hard. And there's also something to be said for how tourism has changed in Japan. Some places have had so much international tourism that it's become a problem for them. And this area is kind of like that because it's so close to Fuji. So from that bus station, Kawaguchi Station, which is on the other side of the lake, I'm kind of walking towards it. That's where you would grab the bus to go up to Station 5 if you were going to do the Fuji hike. Actually, it's also pretty close to Station 1 if you're going to do it from the bottom. You might grab a train, 2 stops, I think. Yeah, I think it's 2 stops. There we are. I'm just going to walk along, get on the bridge. I'll probably end the live stream once we're on the bridge or across it. Let's get a nice little view of the lake. So, over there is where I was hiking. I hiked to about right there-ish. Came back around. Here's the lake itself. So here's Lake Kawaguchi. You can see, unfortunately, it's a little foggy, so you can't see very far. That right there is actually an island. There's a big shrine on there. And there's another one that's usually an island with a little shrine, but the water's low enough you can actually walk out to it. So I'm going to get out. Actually, I'm going to cross under and then get on top of the bridge and start walking out. Kind of nice view of the lake, though. It's already getting warmer. I can feel it. So, like, when I got up at 5:30 this morning. I was probably out the door by 5:45. Probably earlier than that, actually. Was it 5? Maybe it was 5 I woke up. Anyways, when I woke up, it was actually pretty cold. And, put on a bunch of layers. So, t-shirt, down vest, like a heavy Carhartt shirt, another vest, wool hat, gloves. And now I don't have a hat on. It's the only one I'm debating putting back on. And the vest, the shirt, the other vest, they're all unbuttoned or unzipped at this point. That is pretty. I really hope the camera's picking this up well. I've had live streams where just because of, poor connection in rural Japan, the just looks horrible. What? It's clearing up kind of fast. There's also a ton of tunnel. Oh, we can see a little more. Not that much though. We can see a little more of Fuji. I want to be on the side of the bridge my hotel's on. There's a nice map. So I'm going to take the yellow, which is the bridge across. Yeah, you still can't see very much of Fuji. He's shy today. The lake you can actually see pretty clearly now, though. I'm just going to get up on the bridge and then end the live stream. I kind of wish it probably not on the phone. There was something I could do to see like the quality of the live stream. Like, oh, how bad does it look right now? Does it look horrible? There's a 1 hour mark. There you go. So you can see the Wakasagi, the fishing boats. I'm actually not going to go up through the parking lot. I'm going to bang a left to get up on the bridge. And I'm going to end the live stream up on top of the bridge. Oh, there's a set of stairs I could have just taken over there. I missed that. You can tell I bicycle a lot because a lot of times I default to the bicycle path, not the human path. That path's not in great shape either. All right. Certainly going to be busier with cars than when I went out on the bridge at the start. There's kind of a band in the middle that you can see of Fuji. Good reminder how large it is. So there is part of Mount Fuji slope. There, the edge, there's Mount Fuji slope. You can't see very much. It continues up and down. You can see a little bit of the snow. It seems like the fog is, from our angle, clustered where the snow is. Someone down there fishing? No, not fishing. Just looking. All right, there's the very touristy side of the lake. So there's what's going on there? So there's an observation platform where if it's a nice clear day, you get a great view of Fuji over there. But it's either a bit of a hike or you take a skyline up there, right there. I'm not sure how much you're going to see there today, even of the lake. There's a boat. We took the boat last year. That was fun. Anyways, I enjoyed watching with you guys. Got a little hike in. Didn't get to see much of Mount Fuji. That's okay. I mean, that's about all you can see. It's not going to be a good viewing day, unfortunately. So, please like, share, subscribe, comment, share this out, and I will see you in our next adventure.